So I know before those online joined, I asked. So before those online were here, I asked how the test was and if anybody has any questions or things, any feedback regarding the test. So those here have given their feedback before it came on. So if you guys have any feedback, you can just drop it in the comments and we'll attend to the feedback. Today's class, we're going to be talking about data analysis expressions because in our first week we did introduction to Power BI, the Power BI interface, data analysis process, isn't it? Our second week we did Power Query Editor and managing relationships. And today we're going to be doing data analysis expressions, which is basically DAX, and visualizations. So before we go into our demo for today, we're just going to go through the slides as usual to have an understanding of what we're going to start doing. Now, I know you guys have done Excel. The prerequisite for this course, DAX especially, is Excel because your DAX expressions, just like in Power BI, is your formulas in Excel. Okay. The only difference is that in Excel is for individual cells, right? For Power BI, you can do for different columns, different tables, and stuff like that. So we're just going to go through it. If you have any questions, you can maybe raise your hand at the end so that your attention, please. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And someone just use that the already established without submitting with my
Okay. If you have submitted, you cannot resubmit. I've already seen about 20 people, and I'm just going to remove both because you've been asked to submit once. If you submitted without dashboard, next time you shouldn't submit without your dashboard. Okay. That's just so next time before you submit, you have to make sure you have attached every single thing. I mean, that's a normal rule in every assignment now, right? Okay. So, but if you have any other reason that made you not to, you can send me. I will put a form and you guys can put in your complaints. We will attend to them.
why some students and some people now submit because it set the option. You want to submit your dashboard, not to select yes or no. You select yes. So
No, the question is, did you use your dashboard to answer the questions? Now, if you use your dashboard to answer the questions, that's what I want. If you put yes, there's points for yes. If you put, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. So you have to now upload the file. If you upload the wrong dashboard and I come back, so your score can change. If you upload your dashboard and you come back and I check it and it's wrong, your points will reduce. Okay. If you uploaded, some people even uploaded wrong file for me. I'm looking at all of you. Yes, I want us to start quickly, please. Yes. Is it your name? That's. I think it's fine. It is. I'm going to take two more questions and that's it. Yes. Can I have silence, please? For that, that is one of the reasons that I will allow because I can see One is higher. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So, but if you make a mistake and the next one is 20, the other one is 28, I know what you've done. So I'm not going to take it. Yes. Oh no, I can still identify your email. It's fine. It's just one mark. That's it. Is that all? Yes, yes. So the first one that you did last week is 20 marks. It's over 40, but I'm going to divide it by 2. Do you understand? The second one that we're doing today, the retail data set that you guys will be giving back to me. So I'll give you some questions just like that one. The aim of that first one is you guys cannot interpret that dashboard, right? You know, it's not just diagram. These are figures here. I know the highest sales, what happened in this month, what happened in that month, and stuff. Please, can you guys keep quiet? Ah, if you guys are talking, I can't talk. One of us has to talk. So that's what we're going. So the second one today is going to be also same thing. I'll ask you questions using dashboard. You give it back to me, and that will be your second 20. Now next week is our final. So next week is just going to be visualizations. I'll teach you all the other things to make your dashboard more interactive. So other than your slicers, we can do some design, some menus. We're just going to all explore. Okay. And then after that, you guys have a capstone project. So I will give you a project data set. You do the same thing, but this time around, you're doing everything from beginning. To be dirty, you clean it for me. You tell me how you cleaned it. You finish, do the analysis, transform it, do the dashboards, give reports. Now, everybody's own doesn't have to be the same for that one. All I'm going to ask you is these are the questions I want you to derive, the answers to these questions. So your visuals may be different, some of your things may be different, but I just need hair. So, but this time around, you're not giving me the dashboard, you're going to give me a report. So, in that report is where you put your dashboard. Do you understand? So, you interpret everything. I will teach you guys anyway in visualization properly. So, that's the last question I'm taking before the class. What about you don't need to publish it, please. You need license to do that. Don't even touch that one. Just leave it. We're not writing test today. I'm giving you the data set for the test today. Right. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about DAX, and the agenda for today is we're going to talk about data analysis expressions and introduction to it, how we can use DAX in Power BI, and writing DAX formulas. Okay. After this, we're going to go to our lab, and we're going to use the financials data set to create DAX formulas and visualizations. Now, I think I showed you guys earlier dashboard we'll be creating by the end of today's class. Um, so this is ideas. So this is what we're going to be creating in today's lab using DAX expressions. Okay. So anyway, so first things first, let's come back here. So what is DAX? I've been saying DAX, 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 DAX. Data analysis expression. Anyway, in for data modeling I'll answer all questions regarding CA after this class. Please let's do. Um, so can you hear? Can they hear me? Why is DAX important in Power BI? It allows us to get the most business problems. You can perform like simple calculations, like your simple sum or average, and create. Said if you have a table that has first name, last name, you want to have another table that has full name. Instead of you having to use a DAX expression to take this one here, and merge it for you inside one column called a calculated column. And that thing you can do is, for example, like I have age groups. So sometimes you have data 0 to 18, you have some are 18, 17, 16, and you want to put it as 0 to 18, 18 to 35, 35 to 50. It depends on what you want to do. So for those ones also, you will use like the switch function to check if maybe if age is between maybe 18 and 20, print. So just some of these things, there are things that is just to help you get better insights into your data. So for example, if you wanted to create a simple chart showing total profit, you drag your profit into the value section of chart and it will perform the sum of the rows. In Power BI, there are two cases where it's better to create a DAX formula. Now, there are some things you feel like I can just create it, I can just copy and paste. My data is not a lot. But if you wanted to reuse a formula, so you want to do total sales for products, to be a particular gender, total sales for maybe a particular age group. For something like that, you want to use a formula because if not, you have to use that formula in different places, right? So such a or as an expression in other DAX formulas, using a DAX formula will make your reports more efficient and easier to formula rather than changing many individual formulas in each place that they are used. Complex or customized formula where just maybe a simple sum problem or thing you're trying to get, you'd have to create your own. So these are the two of a syntax, function, and context. So your syntax basically break it down for you better. Some of which are all common to normal from some of this is I don't have to be explaining to you the count rows, all except calculate, because you have your functions. DAX functions are predefined formulas that take some parameters and they perform a text. They use context to determine which rows should be used to perform a calculation. Now we're going to go through all of this demonstration. So for your DAX formula, if you look closely, you can see I have financial sales. Same example I gave earlier. DAX formulas, they're actually easy to read. Calculate the sum of something, right? We know our table is called financial. What would it be? The sales. So I have some, right? Total sales equals to sum. I want to test your knowledge if it's easy to read, right? To a beginner. And does sales column different is, and depending on the column you want it to use, this is basic. You're doing different things. So the first part, your total sales, is the name of the table. If it's a measure, if it's a calculated column, that's where you put the name. Okay. DAX expression starts with an equal to sign. That is the equal to. So you cannot use total sales and forget the equal to. It has to be there. Okay. Next one is a DAX function. Which if concatenate, sum, average, the various ones. I have examples that we're going to be using. You're opening parentheses, so you're basically whatever opening and closing it, and then the column under the table that you wanted to check. So in this case, on the table you're going to do, you will change it to reflect that particular column you want. DAX formulas are used in Power BI for three things. Will add an additional table to the report based on your formula. I think in your first that table, right? That is an example of a calculated table. We use the calendar, the date field in our, isn't it? That's calculated table. Calculated column is what we're going to do today. It will use based on a formula. So for example, okay, so what I'll do is I can create a column to calculate the profit margin. It will look at all the cells, go to profit sales, profit sales. So for each one, to create a new column and put it for me. I will show you. They are like, these are calculations that will add a summary or aggregated measure to a table based on the formula. So, right, when you create a new column, you can see the column there. But our measure, but you can do here. All right. So for your measure, when you okay, but we're going to be doing all of them. We'll do the calculator table, we'll do the column, and we'll do the measure. I don't even think we're doing table today because we've done it. So anyway, some common DAX functions are, we have aggregation functions. That's where you have the sum, if you give it condition basically, or use that you print this or something like that. Your text, and this is like, you know how you over here over the years. This is where the time intelligence and data can do year to date, month to date, quarter to date. In fact, we filter functions to filter things. So this one, for example, your slicer even does the same thing. You can filter some things based on some months, and then time date, total year to date, same period in Power BI to get better insights into your data. X, average X, I know you've done that in Excel. They basically loop and perform calculations. The time intelligence periods, like year to date that I just mentioned earlier, quarter to in DAX, you know, I said we have syntax, we have formulas, and we have context. We have two contexts. We have row context and we have filter. The row being processed. Now I have an example to explain it. You use the in calculated columns and certain functions like some DAX formula, know which rows to use for a specific formula. So, for example, now somewhere here as well. Okay, I use cost of goods sold and unit. An example of formula here is, for example, if I want to put financials, I'm giving it the exact that it has to go to the first goods of cost of goods sold divided by unit. So you usually is like on a row context because it's right. In this example, the calculation of cost tax needs to know what the current row is to proceed through the releasing the new column with the result. So you see it in the first one. It's a row context. Row context is implicit in calculated columns. Columns, they are done on a row by row basis. Thus, the row context is defined by default. In measures is aggregate. You're doing sum, count. You don't need to have any knowledge of a current row since all your an example of a measure considering the DAX. So because I mentioned calculated column over unit sold, I decided to add a measure so that you can see the difference. You know how the first one is over the value for each the value of financials, cost of goods sold in the financial, and we're doing an aggregate. So I need the sum. That's the difference. Okay. To create to produce a single number, and this is divided by the sum of the current row, since all is doing is performing an aggregate country, right? United States of America. So this is how you basically, for filter context, it just helps you to present report to the organization or the people that give you data. And what you're showing them, they've seen these are the segments that we have generating. Okay, but I want to know what this segment generated. So what were my employees doing? Do you know? So something like that, you can just go to your slicer, you click on it, and you a moment and show it. So that will help you to filter it out. Okay. So far, do we understand what we've done? Do we understand? Who doesn't understand? Okay, so when we go to demo, we'll go really, really slow. Can I continue? Okay. So practical examples of using DAX. These are just little examples. Category analysis, customer demographics, geographical analysis, and maybe you want to narrow on that are doing well in my business. And yeah, just some of those things. So these are so we're going to go straight into our demo. Now, what I want everybody to do is I want you guys to open Power BI here and open the document that I gave you guys. Can you do that? So you do Windows and Windows this arrow on your laptop. Yeah, on your the right arrow. So when you do that, automatically it tries to split your screen into two, right? Okay, so that's what I want you guys to do. If we get missing, you will not tell me. I'm in the last step. You have it right next to you. Visualization and choosing the right one. So I'm going to leave it for next week. As usual, first thing I always do. Let's see if there are any questions from the slide. So anyway, well, Power BI, is everybody ready? No, a new one, a blank report. Yeah. Okay. This one, financials. Oh no, we're doing financials first. Your own has more details, or my own has more details. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, like I said earlier, this is what we're going to do. Okay. Like why I said we should put here, I said side by side is so that we can all follow back. So the first thing I want to do is, so first thing first, before I open it, I want to go to my Excel. We're using the financials data, understand your data set so that you know what you're going to do with financials. This is our by Microsoft. So we have products. So products that they are has been classified as low, high, medium. We have units, manufacturing, the profit on each one, the month, or basically the full date. Okay. So some of the things I want to do here are the into Power BI. So okay, now let me keep this one by the side so we can and load the Excel sheet. Now, normally I did the week before, but we're just going to go through it to make sure that all our data types are correct. We don't have to enter whatever it is that we're doing. So So I'm just going to search my financial and I'm going to open it. Check the financial sheet so that we can see it. We're going to transform data just because I want to check the data types to make sure that now I don't intend to change it, but I just want data. Yeah, I think this is okay. So I'm just going to close and apply. I didn't need to do anything. It's a if you just one point that we change to fixed decimal number but for price, yeah, you can do it or you can leave it like that. It doesn't necessarily mean understand. So it's because we want it to be 0.20, 0.50. That's what we used the last time. But in today, I don't want to change anything. I just so you don't need to remove. Don't remove Montana. Please keep it there. Don't filter. Okay. So yeah, you load it. So I'm just going to open up here view for my canvas for visualizations. This is your table, your data model view. Okay. So but we're going to be using view. Okay. If you look at the options under this report view, you always have like home. When you change it, what happens? You have different options, right? Even just tables, all of that, you'll still find them in your data view. Okay, your home and your help. So I'm just going to be create a measure. First thing we're going to just hold. We have country, we have date, we have discount band, we have the discount cost, the months, which is month here. Um, depending on the data. Anyway, please, I've gone through sales table. For those online, if you to upload it before the class. So I'll upload it for you guys to go through the Excel, the PDF file alongside just factoring costs. I have all of these things. And for I want to add something. So I want to see like total profit. I want to see how many goods we sold. And out of those, how many goods, how many, VTT, how many, and all of these things are done with measure. the columns under your financials. So if I keep going now, all the columns in my financials, you can see them there, right? So we're just going to click on profits. And then I want to divide it. So, right? So we're going to put divided by. And then we're going to put the sales. So I'm just, when I start typing financials, we have sales, right? Now, another way to know if you have an error in this, meaning maybe there's a problem with your statement, it will be red. Okay, so that will help you determine. Yeah, it will not save, it will not work. So you check for your problem. Most of the problems are with the brackets. I'm just going to commit it. By committing is basically like saving it. Now, if we look here, we can see a column that has been created. It's called a calculated column. One column to create another one for me, right? Using a formula. So now we have formula for financials profit over financial sales. Financials profit over financial sales. What it did, how it's different from major. I want to show us before we do a measure so that you know the difference. Okay. This column now, it had to use for each one divided by this one, or this one divided by this one divided for each and every row. Right? So that is why you have. Next thing we're going to do is, can we go next? Okay, go on. Lost where? From creating the column and create it again. All right, so we're going to delete the column. Are we ready? Should we do it again? I'm going to come to my financials table at the extreme right, and I've clicked on it. One way to do it is to right click this my financials, and I have options like new measure, new column. So one way to do it is to right click, and I have new measure, new column, new quick column. But also when I click on it, I have the options here as well, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create. When I click on new column, what you guys have to look at is here, right? So everybody, so we're going to remove it. We're going to just type profit margin. For our DAX formula to start, it starts with equal to, exactly. So for profit margin to calculate it, you do profit over sales, right? And we have a, so you're just going to type the table column that you wanted to first use. So for me, once I start typing fine, thin, it is suggesting all of that. My profit. Have we done that? We're going to divide it by sales. So to divide, is divide by. Next thing I want to divide it by sales. So I'll once again call upon my financial system you want to use. For me, I'm using these two columns because that is what it's going to use to calculate. What you want to calculate, that is what you put there. Okay? Why do we? So that's the name of the table. So sometimes it's just not financial table. You have a sheet table, you have another table. This table, this column. Okay, so we're just going. It's basically save, commit. So on you're supposed to have this column here. Okay. Until the end for each of them, they will have it. These ones are having 0.50. So like, so for different things that you want to get from your data, you can to visualization and you see how all these things, the columns we're creating, the measures, you see how they all make sense, because you can imagine all these things that we're typing gave us this that and a lot of. So next one I want to do is I want to do total sales, but total sales I don't want it to be like total sales is like total the sum of all your, because you already have a sales table, right? Exactly. And I'm going to create a new measure. I want to do, we have sales here. Okay. So I want to do for sales. So I'm going to click sales equal to. Okay. So first, so if you want to do average, sum, count. So for example, I put equal to and I put, but I'm doing sum. So I'm just going to put sum. You can use summarize, concatenate, count rows, count all X. I switch if this is the point where you put it. Okay. So we're going to put sum. Even tell you the column name, right? But you need the column name and you need the table where the column is. If I give you column name and you don't have it in your table, what will happen? It will not work. Exactly. So we're going to go to financial and sales is what we're trying to do, right? We're going to put it. Now, you can see I have error in this, my sum bracket. Okay. Have we done that? All right. I'm waiting. I'm going to be very slow with this lab. So if I delete it, can you see the sum? The bracket there is red, right? Okay, so I'm going to close the bracket. Financial. The measure column on your laptop, it will come. Did you save it? So the measure will happen when you click. Let me save my own. You see it on. So check that part. You see your total sales there with this measure icon. Or profit margin. There are two different icons. Okay. Present your measure. Okay. So I'm just going to commit it. When I do it automatically, when I look here, it's going. Now, this total says you see how useful it is when we come to our visualization, because now, for example, do it. So, for example, I have total sales and I want to know total sales per product. Before, I wouldn't know for each amount, this amount, this amount. Now, I want to know for each product. So, all I have to do is just drag total. Each of my products is there, the total amount of sales, which is literally what you need. You need the total sales, you need how much. Do you understand? Okay. So I'm just going to one thing you can do with that. So I'm just going to go back to my we've done this, we've done total sales. Next thing I want to do is we have units sold here. Units sold of everything. So what are the best selling? Who are the people buying them? So I want to do total units sold so that I can be able to know the product, each product, how much we sold and stuff like that. So I'm just going to create a new. So same thing, you create a new measure at the top. And we're going to call this one total units sold. Okay. Once again, I'll equal to indicate that we're starting a DAX, and put sum. And for this time around is our unit sold column that we want to use. So I'm just going to scroll down and put unit sold. Okay. So we're going to save it as well. So when we save it, what happens? It comes down to our table. Are we on the same page now? All right, so finish. It's a new measure. Well, you guys, let me see. As a column, want the profit margin you got from that particular item. So have we created the two measures? We've created total sales and total units sold. Okay. So next thing we want to do is there's discount. I want to know the average.
Are these the two measures different? Profit margin and
This is a column, calculated column.
this is calculated column. What about the measure?
Second measure now is
The first
total.
one.
The first one is total sales.
Total sales is equal to
Sum.
sum of sales.
Yeah, sum of sales.
Then what about
Total units sold.
total units sold? It's called
To sum of total units sold. Sum of the column
units
sold.
sold.
That's
I was hearing
Oh no, that's for profit margin. The profit margin, if you're calculating, you're doing profit over sales. So profit over sales, you go to the column. Okay. So can we continue for discount? Okay. So discount, unlike how we did some average discount, we want to know how much averagely is discount we're giving our customers. Okay. So and how much for each product now. With that information, you can check for each product the discount you've given. Okay, do we need to give more at the sales because these items have more discount than another? So it's just to understand what is going on, right? The main point is to drive insights from our data, isn't it? So any small thing could be something that could identify a pattern. Okay, so we're going to do a new measure again. I already have my total units sold here, so I'm just going to create a new one. And this time around, your average discount is basically equal to, instead of using sum, we don't need to calculate the sum of discount. Add all of them, divide by the number of sales I have. So you invoke the average of what you need to do for the discount table in your discount column. Going to do, go to click on discounts, and then as usual, we're going to close it. Are we on the same page? Yes. All right. So next one we're going to do is business focuses on how much profit we made. Without knowing the amount of profit stay afloat, right? So another one we're going to create new measure for profit. So we're going to create total profit. This one will help us to even identify total profit by country. So of financials and profit. Okay, and then we're going to close it. We're going to store it. Okay, so we now have our total profit measure. Okay, so but depending on the data that you have, sometimes it's not average you want or it's not sum you want. There are other things you want to calculate. Yes, we created a calculator column for profit, right? But we're also going to create profit margin. Hear you. This one that we're doing, the profit margin, is going to be a measure. Okay, so it's a measure because you know how that one is just individual. I put this profit margin column, the two of them. So for the profit measure column, it did for each one. It went to each row, carried profit, sales, divided, right? Now all the profit, and I want you to divide it. Do you understand? So individually, right? So for each item, it would go to the profit, it would go to the sales, it should divide it, it should give me back of my profit, the total of my sales, and just divide it by 2. Do you understand? So because it's a measure now, you don't have it individually. It doesn't aggregate, like it doesn't like. Do you understand? It doesn't do it like row by row. Do we understand? Okay. Yeah. Average, and financial. So next one we're going to do is, so I've already done total profit. So the next one I want to do is the profit margin measure. Now I know I made a mistake here. You can't have profit margin measure and table under the same thing. It will say you've already. Can you guys keep quiet, please, so that I can talk? So this part, I know there's a mistake. This profit margin, because once you have total profit margin column and you come and create profit margin measure, it's going to try and see it as the same thing. So it's going to tell you to give that error. I'm not sure what it to give. You guys want to try it? I know it to give an error. What did he give you? It already exists basically. So this time around is total of all the profit, all the sales, right? So we're going to which previous one? No, you're not undoing anything. No. This one is a measure. The last one was a column. No. If you did that as a measure, it won't work because a measure needs a function. So you may have done it as a column. Exactly. So if you can just give 2 things, divide it. But for your measure, you have to give it a function. So it has to be divided function to work with. Okay. So anyway, we're going to come now and create a measure for profit margin. Margin. Huh? What? This one we're going to create back. It's called, the new measure is called total profit margin. Okay. Equal to, so because normally to calculate like we did it earlier, you divide profit And because it's a measure, you have to give it the function to do that. So we're going to give it divide. Okay. When we give, it shows you need numerator, you need denominator, isn't it? Just like normal division. So I wanted to do profit over sales. I'm just going to put my financials and it to bring up my small. I have to put sum first because it has to calculate the total of the financial table and total or sum for the profits for the sales in the sales. Total profit. So we can. Oh, yeah, but it's a measure, so you can't really use it. Yeah, so you have to just do the aggregate again. Okay, but what you can do is, yes, he will come and see it. I don't know. He'll see you. Just if you need any assistance, you some we have. So we're going to do it again. Financials, profit, and close it. Put our comma of financial sales, and then again. Okay, and then we can. Oh, the formula you want to see it. All right. I need to sit down. So while you guys are doing it, let me check on those online. BI, we didn't transform it. I will send a recorded video. I even pre-recorded it because I thought those online.
Just raise up your hand, please. I don't need to make noise.
Yes, I am Sunday. I loaded this data directly into Power BI. Thank you, Ruth. I will upload the video once this is. Oh, I'm so sorry you guys can't see the formula. That's why I created this document, this one, and I uploaded it for you guys. So just go and check for BID DCA lab step-by-step guide. So exactly what we're putting, we have it here. Okay, all you have to do is just follow the steps. to do it. Thank you, Loretta. Okay. Upload the videos too. Thank you, Sunday. So yeah, I think we're just going to continue. Are you guys? Have you guys? So next thing we want to do is, so we have sales by, you want to know sales tree and some of these things. So we're just going to create new measures for them. Honestly, I have about 20 minutes left for the class to end. Maybe we'll create a visualization so that we can finish everything. Okay. But the video has so yeah, I've saved it. So next thing we're going to do is another new measure, but this time around we're going to use calculate. So what calculate does is that it modifies the evaluated. So for example, now you want it to do two different things and you want it to filter. We use calculate mostly for filtering. You see calculate and all except they are used together. So what, for example, what this one means is we're going to create a new measure. We want it to narrow calculate our sales, but by segment. So for different, even though our total do the same thing for you, okay? But you can decide if you didn't have total sales and you wanted by segment, that's when you do like sales by segment, okay? So now, for example, if we do sales by segment, all you have to do is maybe drag date to know date of that segment. Now, the date of that sales by segment or aggregate date of that sales by segment. So because I already have total sales and total sales to drag country, so I'm going to just leave these ones that I wrote, the sales by segment, sales by country, since we can still do it with our function, since I haven't done even one of them. Okay. So for time intelligence, basically you want to see maybe your sales over maybe the year, or maybe every month, or you want to see it quarterly, or you want to see what happened last year around this maybe or June. You want to see what happened last year around June. What were you guys, how progress, or how the business is basically moving. Okay. So to do that, we have some functions like same period last year, dates YTD, dates MTD as a month date, dates QTD. So we're just going to go straight to our visualization. We have about how many minutes? 20? Yeah. 20 minutes to finish up. Okay. Our measure. So I'm going to create it for total sales that we had last year around this time, basically. Last measure. We finished creating column. From now on is measure we're going to be creating. So I want to do total sales. You can decide to copy and paste it if you want, but to make sure that your table did not change name. You know how some people have two financials on their laptop now. It will do bracket two. If you copy what I put, what will happen? It will see the table, right? Exactly. Just complete it. So anyway, for me now, I want to know total sales last year. Yeah, for the first part. Um, Total sales last year, and then we're going to use calculate function because you're evaluating. What you want to do is you want to do same period last year. If you're evaluating, if you look at this, all except meaning filter it out for me only based on segments, only based on country, something like that. So for same thing again for right. So first thing we're going to do when you go in, you're going to put calculate expression and a filter. The expression you need to give it is sum of financial data because it's in the total of we're doing total our sum of financial data. So you're going to do sum
Project.
Now,
We are live. Hey guys. Live. Like,
oh,
how many minutes?
I'm just trying to see this question. So helpful. She keeps putting it on for them.
Some people are trying.
Come on, the lab is there. The lab is from there. As in everything we're doing today is here. Literally.
Learn.
Yes. You know the Telegram group. Chicken number. Get out from your data, Loretta. So I will upload the slides. So anyway, we just need to continue. Is that one ready? Just in case you finished it, huh? So what should we just use what we have and continue? The ones that are available. This we should use the measures that we have to just. I'll just do year to date and leave it. So we've done total sales last year. Is she I'll just give it videos. No, physical idea on here. But I will be here for that time. Reason based, same thing that we did this morning that we're doing for the other students today. But we're doing the fairy tale sales. Those that are online, they can follow. And I have a flash in my bag, but let me finish this.
Let me use a flash.
Yeah, it's a mistake. 1 minute. It's not supposed to be there. Thank you. Here.
If you are ready, go.
So anyway, we're just next one we're going to do. This is okay. So I'm just going to save it for today. So final measure for today, I'm coming. Let me just copy that one so that I don't have to type everything out again. I'm just going to copy it. They are basically the same thing. The only difference is this one changed. So I'm just going to copy it so that I can just paste it in the new measure that we're creating. And this is going to be called total sales date. So I'm going to remove this same period last year. Dates, dates. Going to type it. So equal to, I'm just going to type it again. So financial sales, close the bracket, date, and then financials, and then we close it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is it. So it's the same thing. The total sales last year to total sales YTD, and then you YTD. Are we on the same page? All right, go on. Yes. Oh, we're not doing it because of time, but you can do it on your own and you have the time. Okay. Or you can do it self as I'm doing my. So anyway, I think this is the last one we're going to do so that we can see what we can use those all these measures, columns that we all you have to do new type it. YTD. YTD, we have year to date, we have month to date, we have quarter to date. But I'm only doing year to date. Data. So, but anyway, can you guys see it? YTD, there is no comma after it before the financials date table. When you finish, you get to cover. So are we okay now? Right, I'll wait for you guys to finish. Let's Is Loretta in this class? No, this is a new measure. They are all measures. The only column we created was profit margin. Every other one is a measure. Yeah. Your own work. Not possible. So have we caught up or we need more time? Your data is and the report what your data has. So for me, that's the only thing I want out of my data. If you had other things, you create your calculator columns for them. Do you understand? Yeah, you can use any other parameter to create calculator columns. So different. You can use all of them, and you can do right. So you know that would give you what the cost of goods sold divided by quantity. YTD means year to date. So basically from last year to today, or last year to a particular day or a particular day. We also have month to date too. Same thing. More this particular month, this particular date, week, quarter as well. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. For major, okay, yeah. So the column is just yeah. Back and see my online buddies. On the Telegram group. Loretta, well done. What slide is not clear? Is not clear, Abdullahi. Using lab. I'm using lab 4 materials, and I will send it to. I'll upload it to the business intelligence data analytics lab ideas YouTube. So I think your virus has flash. Your flash has virus. Voila. Oh, sorry. You're not complaining. Online. So online. Eh, or I'll upload anyway. Yeah. So we're doing visuals. Sorry. So anyway, you guys have finished this back. I'm going to go to my report. You guys can catch up using this. So we're going to videos that we created. It's not charging. I don't even know at this point. Anyway, so we're going to see some of the measures we created to just do some visualization to see more insights into our data. To see, okay, let me use this. You know, want to see sales trend over time and date. Okay, so we're going to drag total sales here, and we're going to drag our date into it. Now I want to let's close this. I want to show you guys something in this. Okay, for any trends over time, the best visual to use for like time or any like months, years, anything that has to do with trends over time or any pattern, the best visual to use is your line chart, your area chart, and your column chart. Under visualization here, these three here, this is my line chart, this is my area chart, this is my stacked area chart, this is stacked 100% stacked. Anyway, the last one is column, and so I'm going to use line chart for data is basically 1 year, 2013, 2014, right? But what I want to, the most important thing is now we can do something called the drill down feature in Power BI. What drill down does is using this our data now, all we have to do is click here, turn on drill down mode, and you can go down into different quarters. So they want to see different quarters, you can show them all of that in one visual. They decide it's not the quarters they want to see, they want to see months. You still come down here and you can see January, February, March, April for each one. Do you understand? I'll come again. Where did you guys stop when I going to delete here and start again? So listen and pay attention. So first thing I want to do is I want to see sales over trend for the years. Okay, I want to see the months, the quarters, all the years, like what has been happening. So I'm going to drag that measure I created for total sales. Okay, because it has total sales. Okay, now next thing I said is if you're representing any sales trend over time, line chart, area chart, or your column chart, because they have it with the lines, you can easily identify a trend. It goes up here, comes down here, something like that. Still making noise. I will not go over it again. So line chart is what I created. I'm going to close this visualization and close. When I created this, I'm going to make it big. And this thing now, when you look, these arrows are for the drill down feature in Power BI. So what basically this does is that from one visual, you can click on this arrow to turn on drill down. Okay, so to do that, first thing you do, if you want to go down immediately after this, I can decide to click on 2013 and it will take me down to the quarter. So if you look at 2013 data, we don't have for these first two quarters. I think because of that, your DAX, you can you would have seen if it was just sales, because now you have total sales over time with dates. You can see it for everything. Okay, that's the first visual. So I'm just going to keep it. Let's just leave it and then go to the next one. So same thing, if you want, you can see for quarters, you can see for months. Okay, yes. So do we understand this part? We're going to drag the next visual. The next visual I want to do is I want to do sales by segment. Since I have total sales, I'm just going to drag it and drag my segment so that we'll see total sales over the period of time. Now, we'll come to our data here, and I'm going to drag total sales measure here, and we're going to drag segments. Okay, here, but this time around you can use a clustered bar chart. So a bar chart, normally you guys know bar chart now, like basically what is showing here. But because I want it in different colors, I want government to have a different color. I'm going to add my segment under my legend. So I'll come here and drag segment. Do you see legend here? Long one, we put start column chart, we're going to put start bar chart. Okay, so this is what we have now. For each of these ones, you can tell how much total sales for each of these. So for your government, you have 52 million. For each of them, you have the same thing. Okay, so if you wanted to do the next one as well, you wanted to do country for by country, total sales by country. So you still use that your total sales one, but let's do something else. Let's use our total profits. Okay, we calculated total profits, and I want to know total profits for each of these products. So we're going to go and we're going to drag our total profit, and I'm going to drag for different products. So I should be able to see the profits we made on different products. Okay, Because of time, I'm just going to ignore the visualization. Since next week we're doing proper visualization, the design, the type, which one you use, just so that I can show this one, just show you guys how you can use, how you see it, how you see your DAX in your visuals. Yes. I should do it again. Okay. Please, 5 minutes. So total sales by segment. I'm going to drag our total. I'm going to. You guys should please keep calm. We have only 5 minutes. We're going to drag our total sales for the BID, then break, then we can continue. So total sales, and we're going to drag segments. And now you can see the segments. Can you see it? So next thing I want to do is I want to do profit. Since we've done use total sales, I put the profit for each product, right? And now I can see how much profit each product made. Next one that we have is what? Profit by segment. We have different segments, government, mid-market. I want to see total profit again. So you can just drag your total profit and your segment as well. And you have for each of them. So you know which one is more profitable, which one is least profitable. And that thing you can do is, let me just make this big. I want to know, for example, for just January, what happens? I'm answering. Oh, I drilled off. Sorry. So I want to know for just maybe a particular quarter. Oh, drill is on. So I know the total profit we made for each product for that quarter. I know the total sales by segment we made for that quarter. I know total profit by segment as well, apart from total sales that we made by segment, all for this particular quarter. So depending on what they ask, next month, this quarter, first quarter, second. So same thing. All you have to do is you have to just drag your date here as well. And sorry, total sold units. No, we need units sold for year. So you need total units sold for a particular product. This is what we have. So for each product, you have what you sold for total units you sold for each product. Yes.
This Power BI, does it mean that it doesn't have insight?
No, you are the one that is driving the insights. But we have things like CAD that you can drag and drop. For example, like total sales now, you want to represent it, right? You've already created the measure for all of these things, and you want to know what, so you can come to CAD and drag it. It gives you insight into how many units you've sold. You understand? That's the insights in the Power BI does. So you have for units sold, we have it here. You can decide to do it for total sales as well. You create a card, it tells you how many. Do you understand? So that's what Power BI can do for you. Okay. So for those ones, but the trends, these ones, you are the one that will.
If you print at the back, those statements there, they don't have insight.
Oh, you mean these ones for each one?
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, that's basic insights. Yeah. Okay. For each of the products, for everything that you click on, basically, you can also change it. Okay. Then yeah, I think that's. I mean, this explains some of the DAX that we've done. This value. So you know, with the measure that we created for total, So we want to show people how much we sold. We want to show the company that gave us data, how many units they sold, the profits they made, profit margin for each of their products. All of these things are in our measure. So all you have to do to show it is you come to visualization, you click on card. So card, I'm sorry. So card, this is the card. So year to date, you also drop it, but we don't have total sales data because we have 2013, 2014, so it wouldn't show. So you can remove it, you can decide to do total profit. So total profit, you have this total profit you made. You can decide to total profit margin as well. So for different things, basically, you can add cards and to give insight. So far, do we understand this basic for DAX? Yes. Okay. We didn't use slicer today, but select this one. Yes. So it's not slicer. It's so if change if you want to, it's connected because when you can click on one and see it on the other ones. Do you understand? It's just to help you narrow down and get deeper into what your data is really. And my time is up. So for any questions, you can send it to the group chat. I don't. Yeah.
Like 10 minutes. Because we can't do that.
Honestly. That.
It's now almost 2 hours.
Whoa.
1 hour, 40 minutes.
All right.
It's combination class.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, for those I can't see any question. If you need help, please, we're going to put a complaint form. You can just respond. I'm using lab 4. I'm using lab 4 for this, and then you guys are going to use lab 5 for your next assessment.
Is that?
I don't. Then you can comment.
Comment. Comment.
Anyway, so those that don't have a computer, I even want to address this. When you're coming for data analysis, please don't come and tell me you don't have laptop. To do all of these things with your phone. Any attendance aside, you're going to give them the attendance, huh? Okay, so for okay, so physical is attendance here. Online, he will send the link for you. So the class this morning, I sent it to them in the group chat. Yeah, it's both data analytics and business intelligence. Yes. So sorry, 1 minute. So if you have any questions that have not, you guys have my email, and no, don't send me an email. I'll create a complaint form, and you guys can drop in your complaints there. How will you register and not have laptop? Please just try and get laptops and Power BI. Like I can't help you get. There is no video. I'm just going to upload, but I'm going to upload the video for them to watch. That's one. Is what you guys are going to do. So those that are here, the physical ones, maybe you would sit back and do it. Guys can you guys can just follow it as well. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm done. Masallaci na can gate.